Hello everybody, my name is Irshad Usmani and welcome to my YouTube channel SAP Wonderland. So today I'm going to discuss SAP Inbound IDOC. This is a very important topic for functional consultants, ABAPer and all the SAP aspirants. As we all know that IDOC can be of two types, either outbound or inbound. So if some IDOC is going out of SAP to the vendor or some partner, it is outbound IDOC. And if IDOC is coming into SAP to create some document, we call it inbound IDOC. So in my scenario, suppose we have some old ERP system or some web-based tool where we go and log in the organization for our information like leaves and salary and etc. So in that web portal, company has provided to some users that they can go to that tab and when they go there, a form will be opened to fill the purchase order information like who is the vendor and what material they want to buy. And once they fill this form and save, behind the scene, the information will be passed to some middleware tool. As we know, SAP has its own middleware tool, PIXI. The information goes to the middleware tool and that middleware tool translate that information into IDOC, which comes into SAP to create the purchase order. So in our case, this company portal on the right side, this gentleman is going to create a purchase order and that purchase order will be created in SAP so that all the information is available in SAP for further processing. Again, in this diagram on the right side, that is the company portal. So the users go there and say create purchase order after filling all the information what they require, and this goes to the middleware tool, and this middleware tool sends the IDOC to SAP ECC system. In further diagram, I have shown you what happens behind the scene. So on the right side, which is highlighted in red, this is the company portal and it has sent the purchase order. So this information goes to the middleware tool and middleware tool, PIXI in my case, fills the IDOC and that IDOC is sent to SAP ECC system. So we receive the IDOC on the left side. Once the IDOC comes into SAP, it looks like something this. So in my case, the message type is PORDCR and the partner who has sent this IDOC is company portal. Its name is com portal. And on the left side, the coloring in RGB, which is red, green and blue. The very first red rectangle is the control data, which tells who is the sending partner and who is going to receive the IDOC. In our case, receiver is SAP. The red rectangle highlights all the segments of the IDOC. These segments are responsible for carrying the purchase order information. And finally, in the bottom, which is in blue rectangle, this is basically the status. Once IDOC is successfully created, the status message will be in the bottom, which says what purchase number is created in SAP. To achieve this functionality, there are three steps mainly. So first of all, we need to create the partner profile in transaction W20. So in my case, partner is web portal, which is company portal, and the user goes there and fill the information for the purchase order. So we have made that web portal as a partner in SAP. Now the second step is test the inbound IDOC. So suppose we are in development phase, we are testing whether this configuration is working properly or not. So SAP has provided a tool, I mean the transaction, which is W19. Here we fill the IDOC manually to test it, whether the mapping is working, or if in future in production system, when this is live, it will work or not. Once IDOC is filled in transaction W19, from there we can post the IDOC depicting that it is coming from outside to our SAP system. Finally, we'll go to the third step, which is display IDOC. So for that, transaction is W05. It will display all the inbound outbound IDOCs. We can say this is monitoring transaction or listing all the IDOCs. So now I'll show you in the SAP system how it is done. So before going to SAP, let me tell you one more thing. If you see on the right side, this red highlighted thing, so in my case, I'm saying this is company portal. It is any Java based portal where we can fill the purchase order. So this company portal needs to be created as a partner in SAP. So how it is created, I'll show you first. So to create the partner in SAP, transaction is BD54. If I go there, these are all the partners created in SAP. Let me find my partner. If it's created, then okay. So I have created com portal, company portal website. So this is just a name. How it is created, you go to new entries and say the company portal is already created. Say I just say company portal 1 and give some name and just save it. Okay. So this logical system will be created. Okay. Now we will refer this logical system as partner in our SAP system. And this is responsible for sending the IDOC to SAP system. As a functional consultant, you should not be worried because this setting is done by basis team or a web team. We will just use this partner in our partner profile configuration, which I'm going to show you now. So this is the second step where we create the partner profile and transaction code is WE20. So once you come in W20, you see there are so many types of partners, like vendor is LI, KU customer, and LS is logical system. So in logical system, I have already created the partner, which was the logical system already created. So we need to make it company portal part as a partner here. So this is our partner now, and this guy will send the IDOC. So to create the mm, partner profile, you simply go there, say create, and we need to give some name. So this is our logical system. So SAP knows this system will be providing the IDOC. So for which I am going to create the profile. So I just give the name here and save it. Once you save it, then come in the bottom. and here is a plus button. So we need to press this button to maintain the inbound parameters. So basically this company portal logical system is going to send us the IDOC. So from here it will be inbound. So press this plus button, and we need to provide here two key information. So first is message type. In our case this is PORDCR, and the process code is BAPI. Basically this process code BAPI is linked with the function module, and that function module is responsible to gather all the information from the IDOC and create the purchase order in SAP. So BAPI is just a name, but it is linked with a function module. So this question may be asked in the interview question. I mean, what is a process code? So process code is a code which is linked to a function module. Now save this information. So we are done with the partner profile. If you come back, you can see in the bottom, our message type is added here. So once this company portal website sends the IDOC, it will be with this message type and it will be in inbound parameters. Now the third step is to test the IDOC. So to test the IDOC, I'm going to transaction WE19. So here, this is a test tool. See, test tool for IDOC processing. So we will manually fill the IDOC. So in our case, the basic type is PORDCR. If I remove this 05, this is the message type, but basic type will be always with some numbers ending. So in my case, this is PORDCR 05. So you execute this button and it has got all the segments of the IDOC. The very first segment, EDIDC, is the control segment, which tells who is the sender of this IDOC on the right side, who is the sender and who is the receiver and what is the message type. So we need to fill this information. I have already filled this information in an IDOC. So I'm going to show you and explain. So this is just old IDOC. I have run it. So we can go again and again and give the IDOC number and change the quantities and other information to generate the IDOC again. So as I mentioned that we need to fill the control segment of the IDOC. So now this is the partner. This guy will send the IDOC to us. So this is logical system type and its name we have already maintained in partner profile. So this is partner, and receiver is our SAP system. So in inbound IDOC, SAP system will be our receiver, and the message type used is PORDCR. So this control segment is filled with sender and receiver. After that, we need to fill the segments, all the segments, which is data segment. Okay, and data segment, basically the idea is to break down the purchase order information in several segments. As we know, in purchase order there are some header data, then there is line item data. So here all the segments with the K is header data. So if you see here, to fill the information, just double click that segment and pop-up will come. So to create the purchase order, the mandatory fields are what is the document date, what is the document type, in our case is a standard PONB, what is the company code, what is the purchase organization, what is purchase group, and who is the vendor. So these are key information to create any purchase order in SAP. So this is header information. Now I'll come to the line item. So we know the line item starts with normally 10, 20, 30. So here, this is the line item segment. Okay. And first information is PO item 10, material number. This is our material number. Storage location is Z001. Okay. And one information will be for plant. So at line item, we give the plant. Okay. So I have given line item, material, storage location and plant in this segment. Okay. That's it. Now there is another segment for quantity. So again I say PO item 10, and what is the delivery date? So in our case, this is 31st of January. And look, I have filled this date format as YYYY and then month, and finally DD. Okay. I'm going to take 250 quantity. So the purchase order will be created for 250 quantity. So this is the information I have filled. Okay. And there is one more information. I think this is our IDS system. It is not properly configured. So it is asking for the address number. Okay. So I have given the address number of the vendor. Although ideally it should not ask because I have already given the vendor number. Anyway, we can ignore this information in other system, but as of now, this IDOC is filled. So once we have filled the key information of the purchase order, we go to this standard inbound tab or inbound function module. Okay, so if I click this standard inbound, now this is going to create the purchase order. Okay, another pop-up came, and the partner profile found. Okay, the status is green, and this is the partner company portal. So this partner will send the IDOC, and the message type will be PORDCR, and the process code is BAPI. As I explained you, BAPI is always, process code is always linked with the function module. So this function module is linked with this process code BAPI. So the 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 all the responsibilities on this function module, it takes the data from the IDOC segments, control segment, data segment, and it posts the IDOC. So now I'm going to say okay, continue, and it will create one IDOC. It says IDOC number ending with the 37 transfer to application. So we have received the IDOC. Now we'll go to the transaction code WE05. Remember with your 5 fingers, yeah? W05. So you come here and create it on today's date and just run it. On the left side, you see outbound IDOCs, inbound IDOCs. Okay. In our case, this is inbound IDOCs, and our message type is PORDCR. Okay. So just now I have created the IDOC, which is ending with number 35. No, not 35. It was 37. So let me go back. Yeah. And come again. it should show me the latest one. Slash n w19. Yeah, 37. Okay. So our IDOC was 37. So you just select this line 37, IDOC number ending with 37. Here you get some message, but it's not enough. Double click it. Okay. Once you double click, you will see all the details of this IDOC. So the status is green, and this is control segment. So control segments will tell you what was the partner information, who has sent, and who is the receiver. Go back. I'll show you the first successful message, then we'll continue. Okay. So I'm going to the status records here. See, there are many messages, but I'm interested in my purchase order number. What purchase order number the IDOC has created? If I highlight this, the purchase order number created is ending with 960. Okay, let me see this IDOC. I mean the purchase order. Slash O ME23N. So this is 960 purchase order. Purchase order quantity is 250. Today's date we have provided, and the delivery date 31st of January. And the material number is ending with 77. Vendor is ending with 17. Now you cross check whether this is the same information. So this is the header data we have sent in IDOC. So this is the vendor and document type NB and all the organizational detail. And the line item detail was here in the segment. This is here POA, I think. Okay, so this is the material number. Okay, storage location and plant, and so these are all the segments coming here, and the status message is here. In case there was some error, then the IDOC would be in red, and you can see the error message here, like material is blocked, quantity is 0, or pricing doesn't exist. Any error can come as it comes in the manual creation of the purchase order. So here I am overlapping the screen so that you can see side by side. The IDOC message says the purchase order 960 is created, and you can see the purchase order detail in ME23N with the material and quantity and everything. So hope you enjoyed this video of inbound IDOC for purchase order. Now from interview question point, just one sec. So interviewer may ask you, have you worked on IDOCs? You can say, yes, I have worked on. What have you done? I have done the configuration of IDOC, created partner profile. I have tested the IDOC. I have monitored the IDOC. And you can mention all the transaction codes. Normally they ask you what are the key transaction codes of IDOC. So most of the transaction codes start with WE. So remember V, okay? And they may ask how to maintain the partner profile. What is process code? What is the use of process code? What does it do? So process code is linked with the function module in both the cases, whether it's outbound or inbound. You can mention this scenario. I explained you that for inbound IDOC, there was some legacy system or some old ERP. They were sending the purchase order, as those users have no SAP access. Okay. Normally in interview, interviewer ask uh, um, what error may come in IDOC. So remember, IDOC is just creating the document in background for you. So whatever issue you face in foreground while creating the purchase order or any document, those error may come in IDOC as well. So how to resolve the issues in IDOC? So you go to the transaction W05 and check the status. If it's red, then double click the IDOC number, and on the left side you go to the status, double click the status, read it, and try to resolve the issue. As I mentioned, that material is blocked, or delivery date is before the creation date. So any error that can be seen in the IDOC status. And in case the inbound IDOC fails, we can very well go in transaction BD87 to reprocess the IDOC once you have resolved the issue. Okay, so there is another transaction BD87 to reprocess the IDOC. So these are some of the questions and frequently asked that I have told you, and you can very well go on the Google or somewhere to find more questions. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you very much and all the best.